Hi, writers. One of our followers has a great question for us today. How many times should I read my novel before I submit it? I would add before I submit it or publish it, because this is an important question for everyone, regardless of how you're going to be publishing your story. And the short answer is that you should read your story more times than you think or probably want to. And the number of times you read it will depend on the story, but also on the writer. And here's why. There's a saying that it takes 1,000,000 words or 10,000 hours to get really good at writing fiction. Obviously, that's a principle more than a rule. It just means that a first book or the second or the third or the seventh book you write, it may not be good enough for publication because it takes a while to learn everything we need to learn about storytelling. The truth is that the more you write, the better you get. In the early stages, I advocate for writers to draft their story, do some revision, then move on to the next story. Instead of thinking about publication at this stage, focus on improving your craft. Read books, follow the experts online, attend conferences, get into a critique group, and above everything else, write the next story. All of that will shorten your learning curve exponentially and get you more quickly to the point of being able to write a book that you can publish without regretting it later. Once you're a little farther down the track, you'll use read throughs to get your manuscript into publish worthy shape. And that will take multiple reads and revision rounds. So the first draft is just getting the words on the page. Doesn't matter the quality. There's a quote by Shannon Hale that I love. It says, "I'm writing a first draft and reminding myself that I'm simply shoveling sand into a box so later I can build castles." Once you've got your pile of sand, you're going to evaluate it, read through it, and make note of the big picture issues, the character inconsistencies, info dumps, plot holes, subplots that wander off and don't go anywhere. You're basically running an assessment of your draft to identify as many of the issues as possible. Then you're going to tackle those issues in multiple revision rounds. And there are 1,000,000 ways to do this. It all depends on your preferences. One method is to focus on certain issues in each round and go all the way through the manuscript addressing those issues. Then do it again with different problems that you found. Other people prefer just to go chapter by chapter, fixing things as they go. Some writers are really organized about revision and others are more intuitive. You just have to find what works for you and go with it. Once you've reached a point after multiple read throughs where you feel the manuscript is in really good shape, get outside feedback from critique partners or beta readers, because by this time you are too close to the story to really see it. Other people are going to notice problems that you've missed. Writers who are a little more advanced than you will see issues you didn't even know were issues. You'll take their feedback into consideration and then revise again to incorporate changes. Then at the end of the whole process, you need to read it through again, because all those changes inevitably create typos and omissions and little accidents that you never planned on. Consider this a polishing round to fix problems at the sentence and word level. When you're finally done revising, the best thing to actually do is to put your manuscript away for a while. Angela and I call this drawer time because we're old. And, back when we had paper manuscripts, we'd stick them in a drawer and forget about them for a few months. We'd move on to something else. Then when you've gained some distance and you're excited about getting back to it, that's right, read it again, one final pass to make sure it's ready. So how many read throughs are needed before publishing a novel? As many as it takes to get it into publishable shape. For some people, the magic number might be 3. Some stories will require more work. It might take 7 or 8 or more rounds or something in between. The key is to be patient, stay as objective as you can, and don't submit until you're sure it's ready. Got other questions? Send them in. I'd love to help. Happy writing.